Being 7 o'clock, I'm gonna bring the Dunbarton Select Board meeting to order. All three selectmen are present, town administrator is present. Leo Martell is videotaping or video recording for the public. And Linda Nickerson will upload those to the town website for viewing shortly thereafter. Gentlemen, I have some old business from the meeting minutes from previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes of October 2nd, 2025 as amended.
And I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded, any discussion?
Well written as always.
Yes.
Looked good to me as well. There you
Call for vote.
go. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You wanna make a motion on the next one, Dan?
Sure. Make a motion to approve the 8:35 PM non-public minutes of October 2nd, 2025.
I'll second his motion.
And I recommend those be sealed.
Okay, any other discussion?
No, I second the sealing of those.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded, the sealing has been approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll make the last motion, to approve the meeting minutes for the non-public at 9:18 PM. And recommend sealing these ones as well,
As amended.
as amended. Second,
I'll second that, yeah.
motion's made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
And again, we agreed to seal these ones as well. Dana will be sealing them and we'll sign across there once he tapes them up. No rush, Dana, we can continue without that.
Okay.
I'll open it up for quick public comment. Okay, we'll hold the rest of the public comment till the end of the meeting now. I'm gonna open up. Actually, public hearing doesn't start till 7:05. I'm gonna go over one other thing first, it's only 7:02. I'm gonna review the painting quotes for the transfer station recycling center and highway garage. Okay. Public hearing. Alright. Here's one from Hill Brothers, Mike.
Okay.
And here's two from Certapro. Okay. We'll read it looks like the highway garage, we'll go by total building first, Mike.
Okay.
I have the highway garage has a total price of $9,024, so $9,024.40. And that includes all sides.
Okay, all four sides, total cost would be, $9,150.
That's for the,
The highway garage,
okay, and that's through Hill Brothers?
Hill Brothers, and they're gonna wash, building scrape, prime east side, and spot prime rest, apply 2 coats of latex satin,
Almost identical?
almost identical.
Wow. It looks like I have highway garage here. You gave me 2 copies,
They each gave us a copy for the highway and a copy for the transfer station.
okay, I have,
I think,
why do I have 2 from Certapro?
did they do the recycling and the, other building, the compact building?
Let me just see here. Trying to see where the building is here.
I'll make you here.
Yeah, they took a picture of it, so I know it's the highway department.
Okay.
Trying to see where it's noted on here, though, I thought I read it just a few minutes ago. Here's the highway department.
Thank you.
Oh, this is, additional work at the highway department, barn boards.
Is it the highway or the transfer? They gave us a lot of information.
This is, all highway department, so then, oh, this is just cut in half, if they do half, it looks like 46.69, front side and back side. Alright, so that's all highway department.
That's what,
So that's the total. Alright, that being said, we'll leave that there. Now, it looks like this is the recycling building, and the total is 76.31.24.
And the recycling building is $6,700. However, they're only doing one coat of latex, satin paint.
Yeah, the one coat I think is all we asked anyway.
Okay.
But they're gonna wash it all first, prep the service, paint, they're gonna do.
Same.
Prime it, yeah. Spot prime as needed, this one says only spot priming.
So 67 versus advice.
And this one says 2 coats of, Sherwin-Williams duration, so they're only spot priming, but putting 2 coats of duration. Maybe the 76. And this looks like half the transfer station is 45. So it looks to me like we're a little bit better by going. Did they give any half pricing?
No.
He didn't recommend it, that.
So it looks like that we're better off going full pricing anyway, cause it's slightly more when they're coming back twice.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. So, we have one that's slightly lower on one building and one that's slightly lower on the other building.
Which Serta office is this now? Concord?
Yes.
I've had, personal experience with that company, I've been happy with that company. I've used them in my interior house paint.
And here those,
So you're saying one of the, one of the bids is lower for,
one building,
One
one's lower
building.
than the other building, let me see that.
And you gotta add those two, and then the second one is just the bottom line.
Oh, he's got a note here, spot prime, the rest of the building, but prime one side that's really bad, and then apply 2 coats of the latex stain.
oh, I see, these two are half versus the whole,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
This guy doesn't charge, it doesn't look like any more for doing half the building. In fact, it's slightly less for doing half the building, I'm not sure why, but,
Well, it should be half, we're doing half the building. It's a different location.
yeah, but it's 32 and 32,
Right, it's,
64, and he's got 67, so
right, what happened, it's less.
he kinda messed that one up, so actually he should've been like this one, but, anyway. Wash exterior railing, scrape all loose paint, apply 1 coat of latex stain. I don't know,
What are the two prices there, just,
here, let me go show it to you.
yeah,
I have used Hill Brother before, they do an excellent job, he has a big crew.
You wanna split it?
That's what I was thinking, give one and then see how we like them.
Yeah.
And
Do
then,
they typically, is that something, I
Well,
mean, give them one location,
Yep,
Right,
and then, okay.
and then we'll look at how they do their jobs and see which one we want for future buildings.
I like that idea.
They're so close that.
it's almost identical on the highway, 67, 76.
Can I see the other ones, Dana?
Yep.
I wanna look at
So,
one thing,
so this would be lower on the transfer station,
yes.
yeah, you want these here?
Yeah,
Like
just a quick
the
thing.
Serta Pro.
Yeah, just look at one thing.
Sure.
Maybe if we wanted to split them, why not go the lower cost on the transfer transfer station.
But there is a difference in one coat of paint versus two.
This one's got 2 coats of Sherwin-Williams duration,
Hmm,
which is the cheaper one on that one, and this one here, 2 coats of Sherwin-Williams duration on the 76.
yeah, that's kind of interesting, one coat versus two.
Two.
This is spot prime as needed.
Why would he have quoted 2 coats on highway, but 1 coat on,
It may have only required it when looking at the job,
is that, you think,
unless
what,
he did a typo.
Dave, when was the last time the recycling center was painted?
We did parts of it a few years back.
Yeah, 3, 4
So
years.
that might be part of the reason why the one coat.
Well, we did both of them the same way.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ah,
Same time.
okay.
We only did parts of the building. I would like to try both of them out because, but one thing I'm thinking about is, he definitely put down 2 coats on the transfer station building,
No, just the opposite.
he put 2 on the highway
highway.
and 1
So
coat?
let's give him the highway. Cause we know he has the 2 coats on it, and we'll
Okay.
give this guy the other building. Is my thought.
I have no
That
problem.
way we don't, we
Yeah,
only
I
have
mean,
2
it's
coats on it.
only, $900 more to get another coat on recycling,
Yeah,
67 versus 76. And that says 2 coats, I
yeah,
would-
so if we go with
would
this
agree
one,
with that, then
Yeah.
we get 2 coats on
both buildings.
both buildings.
And that way we get to look at their work, see how they do, see how their prep is.
And let them know that the performance will be judged for future work in the town.
Okay, I can do that.
And they're gonna ask you, Lean, why are we
All in
splitting it?
one, yeah.
We decided to look at 2 companies, let them both have a little bit of business.
I don't even think we have to get in it, they might think we just
We're painting
hired
one
him for one
building.
building.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we'll watch over them and see how that looks. So,
I think just,
Dana, why don't you make the motion with the totals? I reviewed the numbers, Lean, we have enough numbers for both these buildings.
yeah, I did have a third one, they were supposed to come in, well, they came to the town twice. I met with the second one on Tuesday, and I said, can you get me this quote by Thursday, because they had come in the week before, but they got mixed up, they were from Nashua, so they have not provided, but I feel like this is.
I hate to hold off on, cause the fall
this is good weather right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Dana, why don't I let you make the motions for both,
Okay,
so just put the one you want on the
Is that
top of
also
each.
something that will be a consideration, let's say they can't get to it?
Yeah, if they have to, we could go to spring.
Okay.
Yeah, cause
was-
the weather's gonna turn quickly here.
Yeah,
In other words, encumber the money.
Next week's raining half the week.
okay.
It's okay to encumber.
There you go.
Oh, and
Yes.
this is a contract, yes.
okay,
You can just do it by Hill Brothers, by the building, by the
Yep.
total.
so I'll make a motion to paint the DPW garage, or also known as the highway garage, with Hills Brother Painting and Contracting LLC for a total of $9,150.
Second that.
Motion been made and seconded, all in favor?
Alright,
Aye.
Aye.
And then I'll make a motion that we approve the bid for transfer station recycling building painting with CertaPro painters. And that is for a total of $7,631.24.
I second that.
Motion been made, seconded.
And just to clarify, CertaPro painters out of Goffstown, New Hampshire. There's
Okay.
probably multiple,
Locations.
yeah,
Motion been made, seconded, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Just a point of order, we have work schedules we have to follow, there'll be painting between the work schedules, especially the transfer station. I can't see, I mean, they gotta put scaffolding up or anything like that, I can't see it on
I don't think they've done scaffolding before.
They get days off too, so.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that they know
Like
Saturdays.
on
ain't crazy.
Thursdays,
I
they
will
can.
scan that to the supervisor over there, so that he knows what's expected and what they're doing on this
Just-
building.
Yeah,
Same
no
thing with
surprises.
Jeff, I think, too.
Yeah, and for Jeff too, yeah.
Okay,
So I just put, a label of award on the ones that were,
got it, I did
We're just
note.
voting on
Thank you.
Public hearing date.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and open up the public hearing now that we've got those two out of the way. Public hearing will be open at 7:15 on the money. And the public hearing is per RSA 31:95-3, Roman numeral 3, paragraph A, to discuss and accept unanticipated revenue from Concord Regional Solid Waste for the Whitney Road distribution. That distribution is for property that we were partial owners in, and the total that we're receiving is $11,412.05. And I wanna recommend that this goes right to the general fund. So motion's on the table, do we have a second to,
I will second that.
motion been made, second, any discussion?
Public too.
Anything from the public?
Nope.
Okay, so that was a piece of property that we owned as part of the
Co-op, I believe.
co-op, and, that property was sold, and that's our money coming back to the town.
Do we have the check already?
Yes,
Okay.
it's included with the, folder.
Thank you.
Okay,
That's why I had to wait, I had to get it physically before I could.
Call
so
for
the
vote.
public hearing is done. Do we have a vote on that?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
all in favor, beautiful. Okay, motion passes. I don't have to sign anything on that, right?
No,
I'll close the public hearing at this time?
You want my account number?
No. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is review the 2026 medical and dental benefits for full-time employees.
I did provide the board with a little summary sheet of the increase, make it easier for you to follow.
You guys each have a copy of that?
Packet, I believe. Okay, I'll include it with the, no,
It looks like that's
I
right.
don't think
yeah,
I have.
that's actually it, but I can make a copy for the two of them, they can see it. Just give this, others.
You know, the government did about making copies, they make over 1 million copies for the executive board, paper copies. So they decided there was a move to make everything electronically, so they can search it on a computer in front of them, instead of having 1 million copies made every year. It's a lot of paper.
I heard something about that.
They're firing all of them anyway, so.
This is the state, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Keeping the town of Dunbarton government open.
Yeah, for the time being. We freeze the funds this fall. Okay, so. I'll go over a quick, so the public can hear. On the medical, a single plan in 2025 was 1,068.84. It'll now be 1167.11 in 2026. Two-person plan, 2137.68.
Oh, boy.
Just the dental.
Oh, okay.
Will be 2334.23. The family plan will be 2885.86. And 2026 will be 3151.21. So that being said, there's about a 9.2% increase on the board on those three plans.
That
And
would
then
be Plan A.
Plan A, Plan B was $829.79 in 2025 for a single. It is now $961.05. Two-person plan for Plan B is $1,659.57. It's going up to $1922.10. The family plan was $2240.42. It will now be $2594.83, which is a 15% increase on Plan B. dental, plan one optional was 48.25, and 2026 it'll be 50.37. Two-person is 92.80, going to 96.88. And family plan is 162.77, going to 169.93. And across the board, it looks like a 4.4% increase. So, this is per pay period, right?
Per month, that would be a monthly,
Okay,
plan cost.
so every other pay period.
Lean, the stipend will go up a commensurate,
Yes, it will, because that's based on the Plan B single, which would be 961.05, so that will go up.
so we expect like a 15% increase in the stipend.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Now, how are you doing the increase of the stipend, cause the stipend is a flat dollar amount, what do we say?
60% of the single plan.
Okay, so you'll just take that and do the
Yeah.
math out of it again, okay. Yeah, it looks like Plan B got waxed
Yeah.
5 or 6%.
That's the high deductible plan. Just for my, edification here, what's the significance of 20/40 on Plan A and 25/50 on Plan B? What
It's
is
the prescriptions.
that?
Are you talking about the dental plan? Oh, no.
No, I'm just looking at the numbers that,
So at point of service, if they went to the doctors on Plan A, they would pay $20 at the window.
so it's a copay number.
Right, and then the emergency is $40. And then-
Emergency room is $40.
Actually, it might be the urgent care, they call it.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then the same with the.
So that's
Plan
not
B.
a,
Deductible, that's over and above, cause, the Plan A has a $1,000 per person, up to two
yeah,
people.
no, I get the, I
Okay.
get the deductible. I'm just kinda curious, I would've thought that the 20/40 might have been, your primary care and then maybe a specialist. Like $20 copay for your primary care, 40 for a specialist.
Well, it actually
is that-
falls under the description that if you go to urgent care or,
Emergency room.
emergency and you don't get admitted, there
Yeah.
is a higher, deductible if you get, if you go to the emergency room
Yeah,
versus the
okay,
urgent care, so there's actually 3 levels.
okay. But there is on Plan B, there is some sort of a copay on these?
Yeah, $25 when you go to the doctors, when I go, the only thing that has 0 copay is a physical.
Okay, and does that, on the doctor visits, does the $3,000 deductible, do they have to pay the full doctor visit?
Per person,
Okay, 3,000 per person?
yeah, up
Wow.
to 2 people.
Okay.
So,
It's actually, I mean, just looking at this, it's almost pricing out the Plan B.
Yeah.
no, it's 80/20 plan, it's not 100, you don't pay the 100% till you hit your deductible.
Mm.
It's an 80/20 plan, you pay your 20% until you get to your deductible amount.
No,
I thought the 80/20 was
The
the
cost of the
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 plan.
cost.
employee pays 80%.
out of pocket.
Or the town pays 80%, the employee pays 20%
Yeah,
That
of
has
the
nothing to
plan
do-
cost.
Right, that has nothing to do with.
And this is the total cost, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the town would pay 80% of this, the employee
Increase.
pays 20.
20%, and I'm
What a-
getting a little bit more detail on that when I
Okay,
hand it out to the.
and open enrollment is like November?
December 1st, so
December
I
1st.
have to get my notices out
Yeah, okay.
to the employees.
What I'm saying is
but one
like,
of these is that the plan itself, it'll be like an 80/20 plan. You don't pay for your whole deductible up front before you receive anything.
You only pay for point of service, if you're going for.
I know what you're saying,
Yeah. You go into an appointment.
Yeah.
Say the appointment's $300.
Yeah.
Your plan might cover 200 of that, you're responsible for 100 of it, that
Correct,
100
and-
will go towards your deductible.
Correct, and I keep paying that portion until I've reached 3,000, and if I go more, if I have additional care, then it's covered.
Covered, yeah.
but I guess, you know, not that I need to make the point, but the high deductible plans, meaning like the $3,000 deductible plans, people would normally in the past have gone for those, cause they can save money on their premiums.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting to the point where these are close enough that the Plan Bs are pricing themselves where it's harder for someone to choose that.
Mhm. Yeah, with the
The high
increase.
deductible plans used to be relatively cheap to go with. If you were a healthy person, you would just go with a high deductible plan.
I wonder if, the higher deductible that, now this is a pool and it covers a lot of towns that are involved in the.
You know what it is, I think that when they made this change a few years back to go to this split plan like that, a lot of people went on Plan B, so it's obviously they're getting their revenue back on this, cause you can see the increase.
Yeah, right.
But,
You'd think it would be even.
but also they, with the 3,000 copay, they may enroll in the FSA, the Health Savings Plan, HSA, so
Yeah.
that they're putting their 3,000
Pre-tax
aside,
dollars.
or signing up for a dollar
Yep.
amount to help offset.
No, I know, yep,
But you're
Okay.
right, and it is,
it is what it
you
is.
would think that they would be equal,
Yeah, as far as the
increases.
increases, yeah, like,
split them up equally. They obviously are doing it where there's a majority of the people and,
alright, so you'll be communicating this out to all the employees,
Yeah,
so that they can have all the information they need for open enrollment, and I would assume there's somebody that's available for questions
Mhm.
outside of you.
yeah, I do have, I uploaded the brochures, so, because we
Okay.
have so many new hires
Yeah.
potentially coming on board, it's just easier to say, this is what the plan covers, so.
Okay, good.
And
Could, when you
Health
send that
Trust
out,
is very
could
good
you send
about
that, when you send that out, information out, could you also send out the stuff about, not taking it? And what, in other words,
the stipend is low, absolutely, yeah.
because that's
Yeah,
important.
because we actually have another fourth person this year enrolled
Yeah.
in,
Okay.
I
stipend.
have those to sign.
Yeah,
You know, the stipend actually saves the town money too.
oh yeah, no,
So
I know.
We wanna make sure we advertise that appropriately.
We currently will have in 2026 4 enrolled, well, actually, I can't say that, they're currently enrolled today because of that, our fourth new person enrolled in the stipend in lieu of, but it's possible they might change it for
Exactly.
2026.
Do you-
And I won't know that until,
Does Dave need to sign this?
I typically sign it, but
You do?
we should make a motion to accept the rates
Oh.
for.
I didn't know we had to make a motion on
I
it.
didn't either.
I thought they were just giving it to us.
I make a motion that we accept the proposed Medicare, medical and dental plan rates for 2026 as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
What's today's date? It's already
16.
flying by, huh, 10:16?
Oh my gosh, it's going too quick.
Okay. Next thing is to, review the 2026 rates for workers' compensation for property and liability and unemployment through Primex. Fun, huh?
I've been busy this week.
Fourth on the agenda. I think I've got a copy here for each of you.
No, the three different
Three
policies.
signs.
They're all
You
different.
guys got a copy?
I don't.
I read it.
Here you go, wanna read one of them?
Sure.
I have the unemployment compensation and the workers' compensation.
I have the property and liability. Mine's going down.
Mine looks like the,
Workers'
So this is good news, that the property and liability is actually going down for
that's
us.
cause we haven't had any claims.
Yeah, we've been holding them all.
The workers' compensation is based on payroll,
Yeah.
pay rates. so-
Workers' compensation's going up 37.18. The total, 2025 was 21,553. And the new total, is 25,271.
Minimum.
Yep, so
Good change.
change,
Why does it say increase of,
37.18.
Did I write that wrong? Increase for workers' comp is 37.18, property liability is decreasing 134, and the unemployment is decreasing 64. See at the bottom? Did I write it down wrong on your notes?
Yeah, it increased 3,718.
did you, that's not what I just heard you say.
It's 37.18.
Oh, it is.
Increase,
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
3718, I thought,
$3,700.
$37.
3,700.
Okay.
33,000, yeah.
Didn't even scare you guys.
So the workman's comp is mainly based on total,
Payroll.
payroll, I wonder any idea, I don't know if it shows it, how much is due to our increase in payroll, and how much is due to them raising the rates?
It's a pool thing, I would.
We don't know, yeah.
It should be all on our employment.
Well, I do know sometimes, I don't know if this happens within the town, different classes of, employees have higher rates for workman's comp, so a firefighter and a police officer could have
Yeah.
higher workman's comp versus a desk person,
Right.
and all of that, so,
Next time you look at the medical rates, they
Yeah.
kinda work, together,
They're all listed here too, Dana.
are they the numbers of
Yeah.
people, and
Not the
payroll
numbers
for
of
the
people
different
with the different
departments?
departments,
Okay,
so.
alright,
It is broken down.
but you'll see the price per dollar.
So that's our payroll,
yeah,
and that's our contribution for the
Yeah.
different departments.
And they're always basing it on the year prior.
yeah, can I take a quick look at that?
Hey, you know, it's. You looked at the payroll numbers, each payroll number is correct?
I have to update it every year in April.
So office employees and police and sheriffs, they've got it all correct?
Yeah, and that is in prior
Okay,
years.
sure.
Yeah.
Take a look at that one, Dana.
It's part of, annual.
Well, Dana's looking at that one, the unemployment compensation program. Renewal, unemployment compensation, was in 2025, $1,094, it's going down to $1,030, $64 decrease on unemployment compensation program. We have to make a motion on these, Lean? Well, Dana's reviewing that, I'll just start the motion on it. I'll make a motion that we, accept the 2026 rates for workers' compensation, property and liability, and unemployment through Primex.
I'll second that.
Dana, anything you'd like to review before we,
So the
Maybe some
only, maybe, I don't. We
you don't
verified,
show any verification of the background?
yeah, the only thing that I would say is like, I would have like unemployment is also kind of based on your payroll also, right? Because
So
of
you'd
that.
expect them to match,
I would almost have thought that,
and they don't.
yes, we would decrease on workman's, or we decrease on unemployment, but increase on workman's comp.
Unless our
Which-
claims have justified that rate.
That, well,
And-
you mean low unemployment rates?
No, like, if they have a lot of claims, even though, you know, throughout, cause we're in a group.
Correct,
So
yeah,
if there's a lot of claims from other departments, it could cause that rate to be up.
right.
Where
That could
the
be- that
unemployment
could be
rate wouldn't
outside,
be,
Outside of Dunbarton,
yeah,
yes.
right,
which is part of the group.
yeah, you look here, like, police
We don't have sheriffs.
is
so that's
almost
kinda-
half of all workman's comp.
Yeah, and then you look at the others, you got the town employees that's heavy, our other departments are fairly low
Right.
numbers.
That's all, I mean, it's just I'm not, I'm in favor of approving this, but I would have thought that they would have been more in sync with each other, unemployment and
I
workman's
saw
comp.
that too.
But anyway,
The only thing I can relate it to.
there
is
might be
claims.
higher,
Claims.
workman's comp claims
Yeah,
throughout the state,
versus unemployment claims.
yes. Yeah,
Okay, motion been made and seconded,
okay.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
You gonna sign these, or you will, okay.
okay. Next thing on the agenda, is to review the 2026 tax rate as set by the Department of Revenue, DRA. So 2026 tax rate for the town of Dunbarton. I'll read off the different, the municipal is $3.16. The county is $1.57. Local education is 10.61 cents, $10.61. State education's $1 even. the total on it is 16.34. So,
For a decrease of $10.04
yes,
over this year's rate.
But not to be confused with the fact that we had a revaluation this year, so I
Dave, it's
think
on
it's,
your copy one, I put the notes on the side.
Right.
So you want a stamped
so,
copy.
Well, adding that is
it's a zero
background to-
sum game.
Yeah,
This one has notes, this one's for my binder, that was part of that packet.
okay.
So, the first impression is, oh, tax rate went down, no, but your property values went up.
Right. You're gonna hear some screaming on that.
Yeah, my taxes still went up over $1,000.
So this is still a little bit lower than we had talked about earlier in the year,
Yeah.
around
It is, yeah.
17 or
I was
18, so.
Well, I was estimating around 17, and then I was missing one key number from the, local school, which is
Yeah.
not reported on their financial statement. It's a different revenue.
So that being said, I think that, this, when you look at the new assessments, is gonna work out in pretty good favor for the townspeople, I'd say.
I agree.
We haven't been down at 16, for quite a few years now, probably what, 10 or 12 years?
No, the last reval, we were in 16 range,
Yeah, 10 years ago,
5,
right?
it's on the board in there.
Yeah, it's for them 5 years. Been a long time since we've been down there.
Yeah,
It's been a long time, we've never seen our property value so
property
high
values,
either.
that's where they are.
So it's a zero sum game.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is discuss some budget strategies for 2026.
Okay, just, Dave, can I interject for a minute?
Yeah.
Town administrator, where were we, in the queue as far as,
we were the first, town to set the tax rate in the state of New Hampshire.
thank you, just for the record.
nicely
Yeah.
done.
Yep, thanks Lean for all your work getting that done.
Yep.
Okay, so now, back to, discuss budget strategies. We're tightening up the budget everywhere. I think that we've had a pretty steady thing of going with, level services. One thing we do need to talk about tonight and start our discussion on is the, COLA that we give back to the employees. And, Mike, you have some information on that?
I do, and if I could just talk about it a little bit. First of all, I use a couple figures, the social security COLA, the social security administration puts out one, it's delayed, it's supposed to come out this week due to the government shutdown, it's been delayed. But the senior citizen, league is estimated it's gonna be 2.7%. Then the US Department of Labor, for the cost of living increase, they were recommending for the 12 months ending in August, they had a 2.9%. So we get two figures there, 2.7, 2.9. And so I'm looking at maybe a cost of living raise, a proposal, we don't like to go point, a solid 3%, similar to last year would be most appropriate. Now, I like to go a little bit further on that too.
Can I just ask, why wouldn't you ever do a point?
We found it's burdensome to the town.
I can give you a better answer. The girls have to calculate it out, but last time we went 2%, to give you an example, cause we thought, with the cost of living throughout looking at the different numbers, should be around that where we set following these guidelines from the government and whatnot. We went to town meeting, and the people couldn't believe that we went down from 3 to 2. When I started as a selectman, it was 0.7 increase.
Okay,
So I think that, getting the reading from the crowd, they put it up to 3% at the meeting, so they went up 1 more percent. Lean had done her figures already for everybody, for all the jobs and all the figures for the town report. And those all had to get redone after the town meeting to meet that, and then back set it all to January, back when we adjusted the numbers. So it was
Can I
quite a bit of
just-
work.
So the payroll software and the calculating in the Excel worksheet might work properly on one field, but when you go to this next step, it rounds it differently. So it was just a little bit more work to calculate 0.7 versus 1%. So the selectmen agreed to make it a little bit easier for us to work with round numbers in the system.
I just find in this day and age,
The numbers are only round
with,
for the 3%, cause once you put them into any other number, they're not round numbers anymore. Once you put the 3% into any of the math, it's not a round number anymore, it's,
in terms of what the number.
yeah, it comes out,
The-
you know.
The
many
pay
decimals.
comes out to
Yeah.
be, yeah. I guess I would just think with programs and everything else today, what does it matter whether you put in 3.0 or 2.9 or 2.8 or,
Yeah,
I don't think it should.
I don't think it should either, so.
But I
Anyway,
will tell
I'll let
you-
you continue, but
I will tell you, when you get in front of the voters though. and
so
they
you're
change-
saying that the voters actually have a
When you go,
propensity to say you should go
absolutely,
you should go
if
up.
somebody goes up on the floor,
The
makes a
selectmen
change.
overruled, about 3 years ago, we overruled from 2% to 3%, just on a vote.
One person got up there, made the suggestion, everybody raised their hands, and
Well,
it was done. And all that calculation work had been done prior, which.
yeah, no, you don't
So
want,
then every department's budget had to be changed, everything, so it was quite a bit of work. So we kind of,
But I could go, do a little more digressing here, a few more things here.
sure,
Last year, the school board made an agreement with their teachers for cost of living raises. We gave a 3% conservatively. They started off with a 7%, and in the contract with their little teachers, not a union, just a contract with the teachers, they went 7%, 5%, 5% for 3 years. Okay?
okay,
And I also found out that you have to read into it by going to the school board meeting and drilling down at the public hearing. Medical plans, the deductible, they pay half the deductible. So if you got a $3,000 deductible, they pay $1,500 cash to the employee as a Benny. And I just put that as an aside. Then I go, what did we do this year in our own departments? Well, the thing is, the police department came in and cried, can't recruit police officers, and we agreed with them. And so we gave them an outright, they had a 3%, then we gave them 3 months later, a 9%. And so what I'm proposing this year, to be fair to our town employees, who work hard, who are just as valuable as a school teacher down the street, who are just as valuable as a police officer down the street, I could do a stratification. 3% will be the base across for all employees, and then give all the other town employees at least a 5% cost of living raise this year. And still, it will still be under what the school department gets, they'll be matching the school department 5%. That's what I'm proposing, as an idea, I put that out for
what was
discussion.
your first number, Mike?
3% as a base, that's what we talked about, 3%, we'll take the 2.9, round it up, 2.7, round up 3%.
A base for who?
For, like, the police department would only get a 3%. All the other town employees, which did not get a 9% in April, would get a 5% across the board.
So you're talking about just the police weren't getting 3%?
Just the 3% would, just the police department would get the 3%. Because we just awarded them a 9% increase on top of their salary.
have we ever done, differentiation on
Not since I've been here.
end of year raises for any different departments?
Well, we do it all the time, we just did it in April for the police department.
I know, but I'm
Yes.
talking
We've
about.
done it for the transfer station when there was shortage of people, we've done it for departments.
We've never done it for COLA though.
Never done it for coal, but I think, again,
I-
we did it for the police department, this is related to the cost of living, because that's what they're using to recruit on, cost of living. And the thing is, I could go further, if you want me to go further,
Not really.
Go ahead,
it's so sad that the police chief cannot even afford to live in our town. I think it's a sad state of affairs. Can't even buy a house in this town because we don't pay that much. But the thing is, I'm saying, we have an expensive town.
well, real estate values are
Through the
out of our control.
Understood. But the thing is, so I don't know, I don't wanna treat our town employees as second-class citizens, because I see down the street where we're so meticulous in maintaining physical control and physical restraint of what we spend on money. Why can't we be a little more generous and take care of our employees? I'm not saying as much as the school board did with a 7% last year, a 5%, and a guaranteed 5% next year. I'm saying, let's at least reward our employees who didn't get the 9% in April like our police department did. Let's give them at least 5%. I'm throwing that out for suggestions.
Alright, so you're not saying 3 plus 5, you're saying.
A 5%, correct.
I'll make a comment. We've had a couple discussions since I've been here, and I like looking at market research on different positions in terms of what you need to pay to be competitive. Your approach is kind of saying, hey, if the school could do it, we should do it. And it's more of a peanut butter approach. I'm more market-based approach, if I was to take I'm just adding that in terms of like how I would approach the scenario.
And the thing is, I appreciate that viewpoint, and we
Yeah.
did embrace that viewpoint, but 2.5 years ago, we embraced it by position,
Yeah,
market-based position. We found out, for example, I'm gonna pick on the town
so you
administrator.
did some leveling.
Oh,
2.5
absolutely.
years.
All
She's
the
still
departments, every
On
department.
town similar to our size, she's still at the very, one from the bottom still. And we found like the admin assistants, whether it be the town clerks, the town clerk's admin assistant versus the police department's admin assistant. One was woefully underpaid, the police department versus for the town clerk's admin assistant. And so we did some leveling, and we did, as you said, value-based, based upon occupation and what the market can demand.
Yeah,
So today, I'm doing a salami slice, in other words, instead of 3% across the board, which everyone would normally get for a COLA, I'm gonna raise it to 5%, especially to our employees who were not rewarded recently, like the police department. And the thing is, I'm not trying to pick on the police department, but I think we did them well, did them justice to help them in the recruiting process, which we're still recruiting, but they got a 9% on top of a 3% last year, so that's like 12% increase. Which I think is a little bit on the high side. Oh, Dave, I open for discussion.
My thoughts is we shouldn't mix COLA with the, giving one department more than another. I think across the board would be better for us as a town when we go in and not do the different departments. I think there's gonna be a lot of controversy with that. And, I think that 9% should have been thought through a little bit more, when we did it, and I referenced that when it was going on, and I didn't prevail in that. I did overall agree with you guys at the end, and we did the 9%, but I did have some fighting, internally with myself, and I spoke of that disagreement during the time. I thought that 9%, we had just gone through, 2 years before, year and a half, 2 years before, we had gone through and leveled all the departments up, and, I thought that to come in and adjust that because the market, let me give you, I hate to do things, short-sighted, and I think that change was a little short-sighted. I know the market was very volatile right then, recruiting somebody. The market's changing back in favor of the towns right now. The, economy right now is softening a little bit in a bunch of different areas. I'm hearing it in my field. When I hear it in my field, it affects a lot of people, plumbers, electricians. And right now it seems fairly stable and fairly busy, but you're in the fall season, everybody buttons up for the winter in New England. But this winter's gonna be much slower than it has been. And when you feel that, you get more applicants, like at the transfer station and this and that, many more than we used to get, so. I hate to do the knee-jerk reactions, and I feel like that 9% kind of was that, and I didn't like it at the time. And after we did it, it still didn't sit good with me, even thinking about it today to our other departments. But I don't wanna correct it during COLA, I would rather correct it department by department and re-looking at those departments later on next year or whatever. That's my only thought for it, I would like to keep the COLA flat, just so it's easier at town meeting and.
Understood.
Huge.
It would go.
Yeah, it would be a huge discussion, yeah. So I like your 3%, because you're at 2.5 and 2.9.
Right.
And the 3%, people seem to be happy with that at our town meetings.
Yes,
We
but-
did try going down to 2%, we got
Right,
shot.
but the thing is, I think it's a sad state of affairs when, we have elected officials in this town who will not be fiscally responsible, and I'm gonna direct them out to school board. When they can offer a contract with 7, 5, and 5, without even knowing what the cost of living, the COLA is gonna be, they could have based upon a formula with an anticipated COLA and put that into the contract. And then on top of that, here we are, nickel and diamond our employees with deductibles on their health insurance plan. Oh, we're gonna take care of your cost sharing, don't worry about the deductible. And they're almost hidden in the budget. And the thing is, then I asked, the question, what about the administrators and the people who are not on the contract? What did they get for percent increases in pay last year? What were their COLA? Nothing to be seen on any paperwork, it's hidden in their budget. So the thing is, I'm criticizing us for being too, shall I say, we nickel and dime our few employees we have, I feel we're just too tight on them. That's just, after seeing how other people spend, I'm not saying it's right to spend taxpayers' dollars freely, but the thing is, sometimes it burns me that the public gets upset if we go 2% and they yell at us, yet they're going 7%. I'll leave it at that.
Understood.
Well, it
Yes.
sounds like we're trying to keep up with every other department, the school, the fire, the police, and I don't think that's the way to go at all. Because
Well, thing
it's
is,
a never ending thing then, you know, and don't forget next year, when you give somebody 9%, then they get another percent next year, well, on top of that, 9% plus everything else, it snowballs. Then you get a lot of people in town who can't afford to keep paying those snowballs.
Right.
You're supposed to be up there to watch the townspeople's money too.
I agree with you, Leo, but the thing is, I'm gonna challenge you there. The thing is, I don't see you standing up at a school board meeting talking about even coming to the school board meeting.
I have been many, many years by myself.
Okay.
When I looked around, there was nobody there, okay?
Okay.
I have missed some. Don't you think that sometimes it was because I was busy or because I was ill?
Okay, no, but the thing is, I say you.
Don't be picking on
let me
somebody when you
retract
don't know
that.
what's going on.
Let me retract that statement, okay? I think as a town as a whole, the school board meeting is not well attended compared to.
And I'll agree with you,
And
because
because
I've
I-
seen
it's a-
plenty of times where my brother Bob and I are the only ones there.
Exactly. So I think we're in agreement there.
Yeah,
But my
let's bring
point
it-
is, we can't be, you can't be comparing us to another, like the school or, because it's gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
Right, but when it comes to a point where, when does it come to a point where we take advantage of our employee? in
I
other
don't
words-
think we're taking advantage
Oh,
of them. Do you think you are being taken advantage of, Lean?
Yes,
You do?
I'm the lowest paid town administrator for the same responsibility.
Somebody's gonna be the bottom. I'm sorry about that
I
one.
need to advocate for myself, but I am conscious of the taxpayers,
No.
the burden. and-
What's it gonna take, Leo? It's gonna take a groundswell of voters to basically wake up, they've done in some towns, not come to this meeting, but come to the school board meeting
Okay, and I
and wake
agree.
them up.
And I agree, but.
And the thing is, I'm not
We're
trying.
not discussing that right now.
No,
I'm
but
just saying you can't be following
Yeah, I wanna make
the other
sure-
budgets.
Yeah,
I wanna make sure to keep our discussion about our end of the business and not so much the school
Right.
board.
Right, you can't keep comparing with the other budgets.
Yeah.
okay, but the thing is, I think it's a travesty that we're so tight with the way we control our dollars, which I think is a tribute to us, but at the same time.
Yeah, and we have been doing it for years, but like you say, it's more of a tribute to us, cause like Leo say, we are here to
Right,
to
watch over,
represent the townspeople. and
Exactly.
Try to keep it.
but I think it's,
So I'll, you both have chimed in on the police situation, I'll provide my input on
Please.
that. We were presented with it, it's the first time that I was here on the board where I was participating and being presented with a justification for, hiring challenges and things like that. He did bring a lot of market data. Now, whether that market data was accurate or not, the thing that I would, a lesson learned for me is I would never assume that the market data that was presented to us is accurate. I would wanna do my own homework and review any requests like that, and then come back later with a assessment of it.
And I'm not so sure the market data wasn't incorrect. What I'm saying is the market data was just a small window of time. You know, where if you give things a
Yeah.
little bit more time, it averages out.
Yeah.
And, that was my only thing, I think that a little bit longer term on that to see how the market was gonna affect.
Okay,
And maybe go without an officer for another full year, and even though it puts a burden on the
yeah,
department.
yeah.
Dave, I think your wish came to be fruition, because we have gone an hour.
We did.
Yeah, right. So that, a lesson learned for me is I would like to suggest, you know, in the future, that we always take the information in and we are able to analyze it and consume it offline,
Right.
and then come back with a more thoughtful recommendation, and maybe even do our own, you know, independent assessment of the market data comparisons, right?
And-
I don't think, to your point, I'm actually gonna agree. I don't want Dunbarton to be on the low quartile in terms of paying town employees for equivalent towns. I don't wanna be looked at, I wouldn't wanna be looked at as a cheap town, I wanna be paying our people fairly. But I need market data that I trust to actually,
Maybe we need to do that study more often.
it's possible.
Right.
Every 3
And
years or-
Well,
to that, I think that, at least with the data that we had there, it did show that, yeah, you're gonna have a really hard time hiring any other police officers in this town if you're at the point where they, you know, where our, payment was on it. And if you remember, we actually just brought them to even just below the midpoint. We picked a town that was right at the midpoint, which was similar size to us, and we brought them to there. We didn't put them in the
Top quarter.
We didn't put them in the top quarter or even the top half, we brought them right to the midpoint. And it just turned out that that percentage was what would bring them
I
there.
will agree with you, Dana. The other thing I can remember back about that meeting is, we were looking at implementing it so it would happen. It had to happen at that meeting, we couldn't wait, and that, I didn't like that part of the
Oh,
meeting.
sure.
We had somebody
I actually
coming,
don't think there was enough reason to,
but we had
to
somebody
rush it.
coming in right away, and,
yeah,
we had to make the meeting, cause they would have missed the opportunity with the person that they were trying to affect it with.
sure,
I also don't like doing knee jerks for
Yeah,
one person, and I talked about that several other times, and,
yeah,
you know, it's, we're only people here doing the best we can to
Oh,
represent the
absolutely.
town.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do some things, in hindsight, you say, I might not do that again, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I can remember one incident when I was on the, zoning board of adjustments, I made a decision. And thinking back on it after over several years, I would have made the decision the same way, but, you know, you're only human and you do the best you can in the
Right.
moment you're in.
right. So I would be, I actually liked your comment about, I think we should keep COLA as far as like, what is the right cost of living adjustment, and focus just on that.
Okay.
And leave a COLA, but I wouldn't be opposed to looking at different departments to assess whether departments are fairly paid for the position that they are
The
performing.
thing is, I think doing it every year is a waste of time. I don't think we
Think
need to
like
do
every 3 years.
every 3 years. would be
I'd be
appropriate.
fine with that,
I just think every year is, we're not gonna get the the long picture.
yeah,
Not just that, when you're adjusting stuff up and down like that yearly, it's way too much.
Yeah,
anyway, you know?
yeah,
Nobody's doing that in the private sector.
yeah,
But what I don't wanna do is necessarily, I don't wanna give, I don't wanna see the police department come in for another 9%.
no. Well, the only other thing, and I don't know whether this is worth,
You're the liaison, so
Oh,
you,
I know, and I gotta,
I don't know whether this is worth talking about, but there was a thought that I had, but I've heard you both actually say this would not fly well, is because they did get an increase mid-year, in a way, they've already gotten some portion of cost of living adjustment.
absolutely.
And so, if it didn't cause so much confusion or problems or getting the voters to approve it, I would actually agree with a lower COLA for the police department. Just because they already got partial,
but they look at that as a leveling off, not as a COLA.
I know, but they got like they were updated to the market as of, I don't know, what was the date? May or so, right, almost halfway through the year. So you could take this 2.7 or 9 and say, well, they're really only 1.5 of that, you know, they're only half of that in terms of need, cause they were brought to market level mid-year. But that, is it even worth doing?
Right, no, I say,
doing that?
if, I would tend to lean towards what Dave suggested, a 3% across the board.
Sure, cause I actually think if you're doing the roundup thing, we would only be presenting, we would have to present like a 2% for the police department, and would that cause us more grief than it would?
Cause they're gonna go into a town meeting, one person's gonna speak for the department, it's gonna get changed, she's gonna have to redo all her budget numbers again, it makes a mess. So I'd rather just leave it to 3% across the board, and I think 3%'s pretty healthy, to be honest with you,
Well, I do too.
some companies could be 2.5, like you were saying, you don't have to round up to 3.
You don't have to, yeah.
We've been rounding up to 3, we could've gone 2.5, 2 3/4.
Or 2%, but the thing is, the problem with 2%, some people look at it as almost an insult to, not an insult, but it's kinda low when you look at it.
Yeah, and when you think about the inflation rate over the past 12 months, it has been in that 2.7 to 2.9% range.
And-
That's dead nuts, that's right on, so it hasn't been closer to 2%, it's been
Closer to three.
And then to defend the school board somewhat, when they're doing their COLA, they're looking at what other school districts do, not only what the COLA's running,
They're looking at competitive
that's right.
data. They
So-
don't wanna lose teachers to neighboring
And
towns
they
and
do it every
other,
3 years with their
Do they?
three-year contract.
Yeah.
So,
Which,
So-
you know, I don't wanna pick on the schools, because I'm very proud of the fact that we have a great school system.
yeah,
But the thing is, sometimes you gotta show be brave enough to show some fiscal responsibility, which what we're doing here.
yes.
And that's why I feel sometimes it's lacking that area, so I don't wanna pick on them anymore tonight, I'll
Sure.
say my piece.
so for budget
And I also don't wanna
discussions,
keep up to them as someone from the public just commented.
so I'm gonna make a motion, and we don't have to decide on it tonight if you guys want more time, but I'd like to make a motion to set, COLA for our budget discussions at 3% across the board for our town employees.
Do we need to vote on that right now?
We do not,
Okay.
Well,
so
I
I made a
Isn't that
motion,
part of the budget
but
discussions?
we are in budget, but another meeting isn't gonna kill us if
Okay.
you'd rather wait.
it would be October 30th, and I've gotta get memos out to the departments with their budget worksheets, so.
Can we make it tentatively 3%, unless we can come back and change it, we can put a tentative 3%, those were planning purposes.
It's up to you. If you wanna wait,
What's your reason
I've-
for wait, do you wanna get more data?
Well, only because some of the government data has been delayed, I don't know.
1 week. It's coming out next week.
Yeah, so I just think for that
But
reason,
regardless, I don't think we're going up to 4% or 3.5.
most likely not, yeah.
Yeah, so
Nice.
roll with the punches.
Well, as I said,
No, we don't have
I'm
to.
going
I
with,
don't-
I have two statistics,
Yeah.
the senior citizen
I think
league,
that's where we're gonna end up,
3%.
I believe, yes. I think that's where we're gonna end up. If anything, I would just kinda go with my kind of philosophy of,
To me, even if it was a little higher, if you look at the other two are a little lower, I would average them to 3 anyway.
I agree, we're probably gonna end up there. I'm just asking, do we actually have to vote on that?
We don't
Not
have to, just
firmly
help for
tonight.
it, when she sends the paperwork out, the departments start developing their budgets to come in to visit with us.
So why don't we tell them they should plan on
3,
3,
and that's all I'm saying, so, and it can be changed if we have to.
yeah.
yep, so we won't vote on it, we'll hold the vote for another meeting at least, and,
Planning purposes start with 3,
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense,
that's all I wanted,
that makes sense.
and we can change if we have to.
Yeah,
through a consensus of the board, so far. All right, we got all that wind out, okay,
okay, and as far as the budget itself.
we are gonna do the same letter if we could, that you did last year, holding kind of level services,
Level
and
services,
if we can. I know that, that was the feeling with Brandon, cause he had a big increase in his department. Just to go out to say, just feeling out departments, we got a new fire truck, got a new ambulance, we have a new fire command truck. We have a bunch of new employees there, we have the per diem now for the, ambulance. So, there's been a lot of activity there, and I like what Brandon said at the last meeting, where he was gonna try and come in with somewhat of a level budget, cause he knows his budget's already much larger anyway. And I think the police department's budget's fairly high up there now, we're starting to fill the positions with officers. And even though we haven't filled the positions, we've been using the extra money for overtime,
yeah,
so the budget hasn't gone down any. The highway, we already have, 2 employees, we haven't got the second one yet, but, that's up. We have a brand new truck at that department, so. To me, I'm looking at, we have upped a lot of stuff here, we did just last year get another police car also. So a lot of these things have been taking place, and
Oh, I think we're gonna be good this year.
the maintenance on our buildings is real well, we're coming a long way with that, so my
we're
thought
not
is,
buying any land,
yeah, well, the land's done. So, well, we don't know that yet, Lean.
well, that is a one-time hit, right, for,
that's what you said last year, or at town meeting.
Did I say no more land?
No, you said this is only a one-time tax impact
Just on that
well, for that
piece,
on
piece,
that
yeah.
piece.
till we put the ball field in. Alright, so, that being said.
It's gonna be a good year, I think, as far as the proposals, I don't see a huge budget, warrants coming in.
I don't know if Dana has seen it, but she does a real nice letter out to the departments, keep kind of level services, and,
Okay,
it kinda holds them to the note, and when they come to us, they give us their exchange.
And what will happen is she'll start scheduling them to come in and present to us.
Okay,
And if they have anything, any blips, that's when they'll show it to us. We won't necessarily approve anything until we have a budget hearing later in December, January.
Workshop before the budget hearing.
Right.
I'd like to, we talked about this at the last meeting, but double check the CIP for the, skid steer.
the transfer station.
That's the only, I think that's the only thing that was up there.
I was with
2026.
Woody down there at the meeting the other day, and looking at the skid steer and watching it operate, and they were loading up, 10 bundles of plastic, I think. And they put 2 in our truck to take 12 out, or so to the place where he had sold them, I think it was down Goffstown actually, where he got the most money for them. And in watching him do that, and him and I looking at it, you know, we use that skid steer a ton for plowing and a bunch of other things, mowing possibly, and, a whole bunch of things, a whole array. But when you get in the building and you're twisting that around to turn, and the visibility behind it, I suggested to Woody that maybe we run that skid steer one more year and get a decent sized forklift that will pick that stuff up with better visibility and more ability to have operators, like, at least one employee down there, Greg, has a certificate for running a forklift. So,
Already does,
yes,
okay,
they're specific to your location, but to have a training on that, I know that, who's the company that oversees the construction when somebody does something wrong?
OSHA,
Primex will give you,
Primex and OSHA offer training on them.
yeah,
okay,
So I'm thinking, I'm just thinking out of the budget, when Woody gets here, maybe we look at doing a decent sized forklift that more people can operate, especially for in the buildings, you don't have the
Is the
diesel
skid steer,
fuels.
operable, in operational condition where it can still plow snow like he uses it for?
It is, yeah, right now, what he's having is some electrical issues, and they're hard to chase when you get compact, buildings like that, and he's worried that if the electrical goes down, we won't be worth much for dollar wise
so,
for trade-in, and then also, updating it, but if we can hold off a year, maybe look at a forklift and do that one the following year. So it's something
it
to
would be
think
interesting,
about.
what do you think, would he be able to answer how much of the work that he does with the skid steer could be replaced with a forklift, what percentage?
I bet it's close to 50%,
At least.
but we're not replacing it, we're just subsidizing it, cause you still will need a skid steer down.
Yeah, no, I know, but even a new one, when you end up getting a new one, right, there's less
Wear on it.
wear and tear on that if you have a forklift, which, what's the price difference between a forklift and a skid steer?
It's huge,
Yeah,
absolutely huge.
Right.
And you
which
get,
one's higher?
you get electric,
Forklift's much less.
yeah, you
Yeah.
get electric, propane, you get, and gasoline is also.
Lots of options.
yeah,
And I was thinking we might even get into that, clean diesel electric version,
yeah,
Makes sense.
and even if we use that skid steer as a trade-in,
yeah,
we might be able to offset and get a grant and get that whole
right,
forklift paid for.
right.
So-
There could be, grant
Even
money.
though-
There could
even
be
though-
grant money out there.
Yeah, we get the grant money for that, even though we could replace the forklift if we were able to do
No,
the
he's
clean
got,
diesel
he's
swap.
got, he's still got a plow on the, pickup, right?
The truck, the skid steer has one, and I think he plows some with the backhoe
And
too.
he's got a snow blower,
Yeah,
he's got a brand new one.
they're in tough shape.
I thought he had a new one there and there was a new one in the house.
They're both used, and one's completely broken.
No, but that's something, maybe let him know that what we're thinking, so when he comes in, he can have some information for us.
Yeah,
I like that idea though, have a lower, if a lower cost piece of equipment can satisfy 50% of the need.
and
that's a-
50% more of the people can use it.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It may be easier to get in that work, tight corners in that building
Better
too.
visibility and mirrors, the skid steer is pretty compact,
Yeah, I like that idea.
so. I'm kinda leaning that way, and we'll probably get numbers on those when Woody comes into us.
Yeah, okay.
So that is our budget meeting dates, you have that down here on the
Yeah,
calendar.
so I've given you all, for your handouts, the NHMA important dates for traditional town meeting for 2026, you can keep that, at home or in your mailbox, and there's more than just my department here, it involves, planning board for zoning changes, the town clerk and her requirement, but for my own benefit, I create a calendar that really outlines the very, very important drop-down dates that I have to focus on that fall under RSA.
Is that this?
Yeah,
Okay,
so, for starters, the reason why I'm asking the board to discuss the proposed budget for next year is between now and December, I have 4 meetings. If I add the 30th of this month, it's 5 meetings, but I have a very short window to get information out to the department heads. We've all been working with the same, report,
It's been working good.
and it's been working very smoothly. But I like to reserve the beginning of January for the remainder of the budget, and then that allows the board to have a workshop or really look at the total numbers before we have our public hearing, because you can see here, our budget hearing is gonna be Thursday, September 5th, and that's not that far away.
wait a minute, you said
What?
September?
February 5th, excuse me, thank you, February 5th.
Threw me off.
And then I include the snow date in the event we have to, continue it to the following week. But then with all these dates and deadlines, there's getting the town report pulled together, getting that information to the printing, getting it back and getting it to the post office and
Yep.
meeting all the requirements, so.
That's all understood. Which calendar are you pointing towards, Lean, with all that
Well,
said?
if you look at this 12-month, in 2025, we have one more meeting this month, which is the 30th. And then I'm scheduling the board for the 13th and the 20th, back to back in November, because Thanksgiving falls on the 27th. If I follow
What's on the sixth? Oh,
it's
that's the
struck
wrong
out,
meeting.
so, and selectmen meeting dates are highlighted in yellow.
Okay, back to back, huh?
Because
Those will be
otherwise
public,
we have.
those will be the hearings for the departments then.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to get them out, and
And
then,
2 more in December for the other parts.
right. And this, it works out where we have a holiday in the middle of November, one at the end of November, so there really isn't a lot of time for them to really look at all their numbers.
I would say by the 30th of October, we should also have our, letter out to them about payments and their funding for the
Yeah,
end of the
that'll go
year.
out, with no meeting next week, I can focus on a lot of that.
That's a letter, Dana, so they don't put all of their balance of what they've got left in their account and their budget and spend it all in the December where it rolls over, the bills don't come until January, February, makes a mess.
Yeah.
In other words, last year, we usually put a cutoff, like no routine purchases after December 15th.
And if it's something of an emergency, they have to come before the board
Oh,
to let them know that.
Okay.
So it makes them start thinking ahead, if you're gonna buy 10 pairs of shoes, go get them now, don't
Yeah.
wait till the end.
Yeah.
So they try and use their budget numbers all up, I find, and
And they use a credit card, and then we don't get the credit card until the end of January.
It's a real fiscal
And-
nightmare.
It
it doesn't
is.
get paid till February.
Do you
It's-
guys use or rely on the, excess surplus from the operating budget and excess revenue to,
And
apply
then it keeps
to-
getting reduced, cause the credit card comes out of it.
Right, I've had to make adjustments to that available surplus for the board to consider to apply towards the new operating budget and change it.
And I don't
week to
like
week.
that,
It's a lot of work,
she keeps taking my money.
he thinks he's got, X amount of dollars, and I go back like, oh, I had to spend, another $12,000, so it
And
adds
I'm
up.
like,
quick.
stop that.
I mean, we've had a history of purchases on December, no one's working, December 31st, someone makes purchases. to
They are
use the
getting
money.
better now, though.
Yeah.
It was rampant. You had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted for clarification, so, for my own good, is the 2 middle Thursdays in November are the days,
I'll give you the calendar.
13th and the
Okay.
20th,
okay, I just gotta know that,
yeah.
changes my schedule a little bit, so,
So for the public, the 13th and 20th will be meeting in November,
yeah.
and also the 30th of the,
Yeah, so I don't know if this is something we're gonna bring up now. I am, out of town on the 18th of December.
Well,
of
again,
December.
Of December.
That's okay, several of us are gonna be out of
and that's
different
typically,
times.
committees bringing, or department heads bringing their budget to the board, and the board takes their numbers and says, thank you for, you know,
You're gonna
It's
be,
more
in-
information,
you're gonna be
no-
in email
Information.
range?
Email, oh, yeah,
Cause what will happen is we can email you, scan an email,
yeah,
the budgets, and if you have any concerns, you can relay them to Lean, or we can do a phone call message.
okay, I'm flying that night,
Fine.
Yes.
so I'm not
So the
available
earlier
to meet
email
that
would
night.
be good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but, you know, usually no decisions are made, they're just presentations, information.
okay, alright, I mean, I guess unless there was a reason to change it to the 11th,
No, they give us a proposed budget,
okay,
so it's really no,
Oh, are you saying change the December meeting to the 4th and the 11th instead of the 18th?
Dave, I have no problem with that either.
That means I'd have
Yeah,
3
just
weeks
screw
off
me
in a
up.
row, that's tough. No
Yeah.
board meeting, 'cause the 1st is a
I'd rather
Thursday.
leave it the 18th if we could, and
yeah, I
then
mean, that's fine,
Dana, I'd love the 3 weeks off in a row, but,
We'll have about a 4-hour meeting.
every
Yeah,
other
yeah.
week really works good with having things
Yeah,
come up
sure.
also.
have you ever done a non-Thursday meeting?
Yes, we workshops, we've done workshops,
Okay, not a regular meeting.
not a regular meeting. Workshops are when we have to say, review the personnel plan or a budget, working on the budget together as a group. As a s-
We'd have to look like if Wednesday night, the 17th, was filled with planning board that week.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is, yeah.
Yeah, so I think on my calendar, having select board meeting every other week, that Thanksgiving messed up my calendar, so I thought we were open on the 18th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Right, so by changing it,
yeah,
it actually moved the,
Oh, from the 27th and moving those other two.
it moved it to the 20th and then, it was supposed to be the 11th. If you looked at the,
Yeah.
The
every other,
sequence.
the sequence.
The 11th
So I thought the
and the
18th, I was,
25th, yeah.
we were free, so I was thinking that I was here for all of the meetings,
yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
which
No,
is fine.
Now,
But it's
now what
information-
about going
information.
back to the 11th and 25th in December?
December 25th,
Come on.
Christmas Day? Bah
Oh, that
humbug.
might not work.
You have to play Santa.
Grinch,
Right?
Grinch.
Yeah,
It'd be a quick meeting,
It would be very
we
quick.
can bring drinks.
eggnog.
Alright, going back to the next year, 2026,
And then, following these last few meeting dates, everything seems to flow into a,
do you get in
the-
November of 2026? You don't
So
know.
in February, I wanna point out that, the 3rd of February, Tuesday, is the last day for any resident to petition the board with a warrant article. We have to have the minimum required signatures, and it's highly recommended that we don't hold a meeting before then, cause if it's, includes, any kind of funding, then we have to hold an additional public hearing, so by sticking with the 5th for our first public hearing, following it, if we have a snowstorm on the 5th, we would then be meeting on the 12th for a snow date, but currently I'm listing it as a non-meeting, but I've highlighted it in yellow so that when I advertise the public hearing for the February 5th, I'm also including a snow date there. And they have to be 7 days apart, so that's the
You're
earliest.
highlighting March 10th for town meeting,
March 10th, town meeting is, the 10th, that's correct.
okay? So 1, 2, 4, 5. That's the night I get fired.
March 13th? Well, there's no meeting on the 12th, so. You would be selectmen until the 13th of March, if you don't get
Yeah, we
voted
don't have
in.
a meeting, so all the selectmen of nothing. Make me come in.
Someone may write you in, Dave.
Write all they want. Okay, so, that's reviewed, if you have any issue with the dates and you need to adjust them for vacations next year, Dana, just give us a heads up.
Yeah,
The real critical ones are between now and town meeting.
Dana, just so you know, sometimes I don't always, post at the public meetings when you be out of town,
yeah, right,
okay?
Yep.
So we can do that in the back next time too. Alright, that sounds great, Lean, thank you for getting that calendar done for us. both of these. Traditional meeting dates, so we have that for our homework. It's nice to have that in advance, thank you, Lean. Okay, going back to, mailbox items now.
Public comment, oh, mailbox,
Nope.
yeah, mailbox.
Mailbox first. Okay. Conservation Commission's holding a public hearing on 11/12/25 to discuss purchasing the lot D40109 27 acres landlocked abuts England property. Okay, so that's the first thing on the agenda.
Wanna take that clip off?
That's the one we gave him consensus that we're in support.
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great piece.
It's
It was-
official, he's got a purchase and sale, we've already put a deposit.
Yeah, it's like for only $300 an acre or something,
Yeah.
right?
So on November 12th, that meeting is at 6:15 PM. And all the public's welcome to attend.
I do have it posted on the town website and it's posted outside on the parking.
Okay. Next thing on there, we have an email from Woody Bound regarding last meeting. He said that there was no phone tag being played between the pest company and himself. First time he heard from them was on Wednesday the 1st. So, that being said, I think that's just him referencing for us. Also, he was looking for the paperwork on the tax, for the trash that we haul. I think it was $3.25 or $3.50 a ton, that we were gonna be charged and then reimbursed as part of the state trying to take care of the out-of-state companies that dump in New Hampshire. Lean has made a copy of that, and I'd like to put that in his basket at this time. This is not it.
It's just a response to, it's
Okay.
got yellow highlighting on it. It should be attached, no?
It was in the box earlier. I think you took it off, didn't you? Where you were put it in the box, put it in the box.
I didn't take it out.
I'll get you a copy. But I do wanna set the record straight that it was not anything that the town office received to hand out. It was something that I read in a news article on my
Well, you
iPad
emailed it
at
to
home.
us, I thought it came in.
No, nothing came in for the town, it was what I had seen through my own personal searching the web, that, like the newspaper, electronic newspaper, and they were, you can read that email, it basically says that this was information that I searched, came across, thought it was good information for the board to be aware of, and there was a link that it said to
Yeah,
visit.
cause you gave us the link, it was
I gave you
officially
the
written.
link, yes, and so.
It was attached in the email.
And, yeah, and I also included the copy and paste of the document on a Word document to make it easy for you guys to read the whole
So
letter.
what I'd rather do is forward that email to Woody, can we do that? With the link?
I can do that,
Unless you wanna print out a copy, I don't see one here.
yeah. Well, my point is though, if he had gone ahead and picked up the phone and called me, I could have easily forwarded that to him. If he did, because this is his department, I was informing the board that this is coming up, but he wasn't aware that this $350 wasn't a
Yeah,
refunded.
at the last meeting, when he was here, we said we were gonna forward him a copy.
No, you didn't, you said you
I
didn't,
did.
you were aware of what he was bringing up to the board, and that money would be refunded to the town.
No, he was bringing up a different amount of money, that was gonna be an increase next year, and I told him about this increase, but it was gonna be refunded, he said he hadn't seen anything on this, and I said we would forward him a copy.
I knew.
That's how the conversation went, when he was here. So. I didn't look back through all my emails, although I didn't delete it, I know I haven't, I can either
Oh, yeah.
forward it or.
I went to my email that I sent you to forward it to you again, so it's in your inbox at the very top.
Today?
Yep.
Okay, I'll just forward it to him then,
Okay.
alright? $3.50 per ton, I was just going off memory, so. And the towns are gonna be, the New Hampshire towns will be reimbursed that amount. So the fee he was speaking of was a different fee above and beyond
And
that.
just for the public's record, the whole thing about these fees is penalize the out-of-state people dumping
Yes.
trash in New Hampshire.
Yeah,
Make
and
money.
Woody who hadn't been aware of this one, he hadn't heard from the state on this yet, but
It's not to penalize towns, it's to penalize, out-of-staters.
it was good reading. Okay, thank you, Lean. Where am I flipping this stuff over? Right here. Right here. Okay, DRA audit of selected sites used during the 2025 reevaluation. So, the DRA is using these sites to visit, the properties used during the 2025 reevaluation. He'll be driving a Chevy Equinox vehicle with plate T67 and the DRA logo on the car doors. He may not make it through the entire list in one day. Each of these locations were mailed a yellow postcard. The sites he's gonna visit: 47 Ray Road, 211 Grapevine Road, 46 and 54 Guile Hill Road, 190 Robert Rogers Road, 1102 C Montalona Road, 1209 Blackbrook Road, 115 Long Pond Road, 53 Hilltop Lane, 45 Holiday Shore Drive, 16 Gorham Drive, 26 Karen Road.
So the DRA audits our annual reval, numbers, picking random selected, properties that they would have used to try to get our ratio back up to that 100% mark. And when they go out to these properties, they will observe and document if there's any real discrepancies based on what they see and if what they have listed on the card is accurate. And that's pretty much so that in the event there's too many discrepancies going forward in 5 years, when we're due for another reval, they may require that we do a full-blown reval, so it's,
So there's check and balance on our reval company.
yeah.
It doesn't say what day they're doing this, but
Well, they were here, I typically send that out to all the department heads, cause we get the phone calls.
the
People have
people did
security
get the
cameras.
postcard, so.
Yep, people get security cameras, they call the town office and say, I just saw someone roaming around my house, I would need to know what this is, and so everyone is included on that email, and,
Do they do internal ones? Internal is just
no,
visual?
it's just right at the door asking
Okay,
questions,
thank you.
yeah.
The next thing on the, mailbox items is Helping Hands Volunteer Day. Join us for our first annual Helping Hands Volunteer Day, a special event dedicated to lending a hand to our neighbors with everyday tasks, offering friendly companionship, creating a meaningful opportunity for all those to serve together. The date is Sunday, November 9th, 2025, 9 AM to 3 PM. Need a helping hand, we can help, yard work, raking leaves, weeding, trimming. I think they're thinking about, elderly people or maybe handicapped or disabled people in town, if anybody knows anybody. Light home maintenance and repairs, challenging bulbs, smoke detectors, battery replacements, etc., errands, delivery, grocery runs, prescription pickups. Let us know how we can help, email,
All of the above.
yep, mls.dcc1789@gmail.com. Or text or call on the phone number 603-491-6992.
Who's sponsoring that?
The church,
It is sponsored by the Dunbarton Congregational Church, and this is part of their group that they got together to look at the needs of Dunbarton and any way they could help Dunbarton. They had one earlier this year, I wasn't able to attend, I did want to. And this is a follow-up to that meeting, and I think Mike Sharon is spearheading this. So volunteers needed, there are 2-hour volunteer time blocks. There's an 8:30 AM check-in for a 9 AM start, so 9 to 11. and then a 10:30 check-in for 11 AM start, 11 to 1, and a 12:30 PM check-in for a 1 to 3 PM. Check-in is at the Dunbarton Congregational Church right next door, the vestry, at 8 Stark Highway North, Dunbarton, New Hampshire. Pretty informative, looks like it should be a good day, helping hands and neighbors around town, so. They've done other, things like the turkey baskets and stuff before that have been well received. Okay. And we also put, what, $500 into their,
Yep, and
pantry fund?
Yep.
So. I hadn't heard anything from them, but in reaching out, I was hoping to see if there was a larger need there that we're not taking care of or
I
on
can
that
check.
pantry. Okay. There's also here an email for Coalition Against Bigger Trucks, CABT, a nonprofit coalition of local government, law enforcement, public works, fire and EMS officials that oppose legislation to increase commercial truck size and weight on local streets and roads. They've asked us to be part of this, and I think, we're gonna pass on that, looking for support.
I
Vote pass.
I would too.
That's what I thought when I read it as well,
Road agent agrees with us, I think, historically.
so we'll pass on that. I'm gonna bring it back to public comment first,
Thank you.
okay, I'm gonna bring it back to the town administrator, Lee, you have anything for us?
I just wanted to update you on the, mini splits, parts have all been ordered, there are some parts that have come in. They've already dismantled some of the parts on the outside of this building, but they're in the process of, upfitting and looking at the, exterior and how it's going to get into this building, so. JR said that everything's on order and, we're just waiting for some of the other parts to get in. And that's for both for the second floor,
ETA reports,
he said they're on order, that's hard to say.
okay. We can encumber money if we have to.
Yes, absolutely, yes, I will monitor that.
Dana, bring it back to you.
Okay, I got three things here. One, there's some work going on in the planning board for zoning ordinance updates for the coming year and town meeting vote. We did review some things last night at the planning board meeting that indicated that we will be having a public hearings on those. And then, it's actually a ballot vote at town meeting. It was something I wasn't aware of. It's not a card vote at town meeting for zoning ordinance updates.
Right.
Part of that is I'm actually leading, workshops on the sign ordinance. It's been 59 years since it's been updated. So back then they had, the
Remember,
Flintstones
less
had
is
stone
more.
signs.
Less is more.
So we've actually had good discussions on this, for some changes to the sign ordinance in town that will actually, one of our objectives is to maintain the rural character of town, and we are using a number of towns similar to ours as templates or examples for incorporating things. So it would be nice to actually get this done and not have to redo it for quite a while.
Another 59 years.
What's that? Another 59 years, yeah. Yeah, that would be very nice. So anyway, that work's going on. Just figured I'd inform you and the public. Next, item of notice is our New Hampshire Energy Expo is being held Saturday, 9 AM to 2 PM at the Bow Memorial School. And that includes, 5 towns, Bow, Dunbarton, Ware, Boscawen, and the city of Concord are participating in this energy.
That's the intermediate school,
Expo. Yeah, it's right, it's the one right on Logging Hill Road,
okay. Not the high school.
not the high school, correct. Yep, good clarification there. 9 AM to 2, and we, I think I mentioned at the last meeting, we do have some sponsors for breakfasts being provided, coffee, and also some lunch items from, with Constantly Pizza.
Nice.
Yeah,
You would have signs down by that intersection, I just, without having the physical address number, I guess if I hit the link, they might give me the address, but I don't know where all those schools are. I kind of vaguely know where Logging Hill Road is.
well, Bow Memorial is right on as you're going up to 89.
Just up
Well,
from the
hold
fire
on.
department.
Sorry.
For you can't, it's in your house, go across Morse Road, head down the hill,
Yeah,
and you're gonna see it, before you get to the fire station on
Right.
the left, a blinking light,
yeah.
that's it.
Is it part of the fire station building?
No,
No,
it's
It's
before it.
before that,
There's a blinking light, you have to
Oh,
slow down
that's the
right
middle
there.
school
That's
that they're
it.
having it at.
it's the Bow Memorial School,
Oh,
which,
more, that's, okay, alright, then I
Yeah.
know which one it is,
Yeah.
okay.
they have the electronic sign out
Yeah,
front
yeah, the
there.
speed, yeah,
Yeah, and there's a crosswalk with buildings on each side of the road.
okay.
And Dana, kudos, I'm seeing signs everywhere in Concord, everywhere I turn, I'm like,
Yeah,
how many signs does he have?
yeah, we've actually, we blanketed the area with signs.
That's
So
a lot of
we have,
signs,
we have
Putting a
nine,
lot of towns
we have
involved.
we have 90 signs out all over the place.
The only thing sad about it, with your name with the expo and being in Bow, you're losing kind of the Dunbarton spirit of it, it feels like to me.
A little bit,
It's more like.
but it's not
in
just us
Bow now.
anymore,
Right,
so we are,
It's
it's
sad.
a regional.
But you,
it's
you draw,
sad.
you draw in more vendors though.
So, yeah, you'll notice, the signs do represent, we were able to get a domain name, so the expo committee was able to get nhenergyexpo.org.
and you couldn't get started in Dunbarton.
So we actually have that, and we updated the signs to actually have the new URL. So it is good, and it's good to have the help, cause I can tell you, I wouldn't be pulling this off alone.
Right, right.
It's a lot of work to put on an event like this.
That's nice.
And, the last thing I have is from the fire department. Brandon did contact me, yesterday, about making, a motion to hire a firefighter EMT part-time. And I guess I have the application here. He said he was gonna talk to you about getting what the rate is for that position.
Right,
Do you
right.
have that, so we can,
We can, leave it as a generic, because he has the set rates for just firefighter, for EMT, for,
So you wanna set it at level 1 then?
is it?
is it a firefighter? Is he,
It-
he's been.
It's so in here it says firefighter / EMT.
Okay, so.
But
the
he's not updated on his,
Certification.
on all of his certifications, yes. I think it's his EMT certification that's not updated.
Now, is he hiring as a firefighter or an EMT, or
Right.
both?
Both, from what I've heard.
So he wants to hire him as both, but the position that would be immediately available for is firefighter,
Yeah,
Okay.
not as EMT.
that's correct.
He'd
yeah.
have to get recertified to actually be a EMT on the ambulance.
Okay.
And that's what he's planning on
He
doing.
can go and assist now, but he can't be the,
EMT on.
That's right. And this is a person I think he indicated he just moved to Dunbarton. So for him, he's fully supportive of this hire. He couldn't be here tonight, and he just wanted to know if we could bring it up and vote on it, so.
we can, I'd like to have that part as a regular meeting instead of the selectmen's section at the end. And I want, if you get an app, we'll put it right in as part of
As
the,
part of the,
Oh,
town
okay,
business.
you want me to do that, okay.
yeah, if we can, instead of at the end, cause this is like,
Okay,
the stuff at the end's more like stuff you saw around town as you're
Got it,
driving around.
Got
or
it,
whatever.
okay. And I don't remember, we did one of these before. I don't remember whether it was on the
I think it was, yeah.
town business. It was, okay. Do you wanna hold off on this, or do you wanna actually?
No, what we'll do is we'll do level 1 as firefighter and we'll leave the EMT when he gets upgraded, I think.
Okay.
cause he can do that internally, once they're certified, he doesn't need to come back to the board saying, I'm paying him at another rate. It's because he's got
Doing a
the
different position.
certification and.
So you could put firefighter / EMT level 1.
Okay,
So he won't be able to work as an EMT till he's certified, that's the bottom line.
Correct.
okay. So, I'd like to make a motion to hire Alexander Glaze, from Grapevine Road for the position, part-time position of firefighter EMT level 1.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any other discussion?
Note, just I think we'll note on the motion that the EMT portion will be approved once Brandon checks out his certification.
And, there was a physical not required because he has a recent physical.
That is true, yep, it was indicated that there's no cost to the town for his physical because he has a recent one from his primary doctor. So, there's nothing that needs to be expended by the town for him to be hired.
Because as part of our general document, the motions are in the middle of our,
Yeah, I get it,
you know,
all I said was,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
okay, so you wanna,
Anything else? Oh, I
is there any other
second
discussion?
the
Yeah,
motion.
yeah,
Any other discussion? All in favor?
aye,
Thanks, sometimes
Aye.
I forget that part. I do.
okay. Alright, I'll just put this here.
He's getting a
That's
lot
a
of,
second I do you've had in your life.
he has, he's doing a good job in recruiting new people with higher certification, so.
I'm the first, I want half of everything then.
Well, the thing is, higher certifications mean we get higher reimbursement rates for the ambulances.
That's correct.
Yes, yes. And he indicated, you know, this person will be around for a
Yeah.
while, and is,
And
it is very
it's not only
qualified.
the reimbursement rates, but the thing is you get a higher level of care delivered to the point of service.
Yeah,
And that's probably more important to the residents.
yeah. That's all I have, Dave.
Mike?
I just wanna say that, there was a conference on the class 6 roads and improvements, and Donna sent out the slides. And I thought, I did a quick survey of the slides, I thought they were great. One thing stuck out as me right off, don't plow the roads or maintain the roads, or they become, so it's accepted by default almost.
Yeah,
And I thought it was funny because we've been down that path before. And so, but it was, overall, I thought the slides were good, so she sent them out to everyone, so I thought they'd be, more important to the planning board than to us, but I think we should at least be.
And it did come up last night that, she missed half of the meeting, but she's gonna get the, recording of it.
Okay.
And actually go over it herself, so she can inform us, because there are implications on doing building permit approvals
Yes.
on class 6 roads.
And kinda similar to what we've been doing, embraced along the way too.
Is that right?
Because, when someone builds on a class 6 road, we can give a permit, but the thing is, they have to sign waivers.
Sign of waivers, yeah,
Yes, and
okay.
we've done that.
Yep.
Okay,
That
that's
the
all.
town is not responsible for maintaining the road or any other services associated with, and we're not responsible for them getting emergency services.
Correct. And that's all I had,
all
but,
set, Mike?
yeah, I'm all set. But I thought those slides were good,
Good.
and the thing is, kinda reinforces what we were doing.
Yes, that's good.
Dana, I just thought of it in my head before I lose it. Can you give us a quick update on Donna's replacement position?
Yeah, sure. So we have, we actually got 4 resumes, we did review them, we've been in touch with 3 of the 4 that we wanted to follow up with. We reached out, I think that 2 of the 3 that we reached out to did not respond
Correct.
to us, so we only have 1 that has responded to us.
I have a meeting with Chuck tomorrow
Okay,
to
yeah,
go, and I've sent them those 4 resumes to review in advance, so that we can compare his,
Assessment
ratings
to my
his
assessments.
assessment, and then I'd like to go over, some things I want clarified for the position.
And how about Donna's input on the applicants?
I don't think we're there, and we don't have enough, people involved, even before we get to that point yet, so.
So right now, John Trotter did ask for Chuck to be a member of the interview and selection team. So right now, we did have, myself, Lean, and it would be Chuck, and you're gonna meet with Chuck, but,
Tomorrow, yeah.
yeah, but I would recommend that Donna is part of that assessment
Yep.
of
So when I
any
get that
of these
scheduled.
candidates, because
Yeah.
she knows the position very well. And she
I'm in
can,
agreement with
she
that.
can help fill gaps in terms of if they have questions about, you know, how to do various things within the department. I don't know if there's any comments about that, but I'd like to add Donna to the,
Okay,
I'd like to give her time to review them too.
okay,
I think a review from her, you've done one, Chuck does one,
Yeah.
and you guys can compare those reviews before you meet with the
Do
applicant.
you wanna provide your independent review of them? You saw mine, so you can cheat off of me,
Yeah,
but,
no, I'll leave my opinion neutral, we
Okay.
have so few, I have a different, opinion on whether we should interview them all, but his, opinion is that one of the four should not be included in that, so we're gonna stand there, I
I could be convinced otherwise, I
I
mean,
mean,
it's not a lot of time to add
Well,
one other person.
once you guys see what the other two recommend
right,
too,
that's what,
then you guys can go from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so,
yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
I'll give them to Donna tomorrow before I meet with, Chuck, and, maybe we can come up with a plan. But
okay.
again, unfortunately, we have two that have not
Can
responded.
I was actually gonna ask, can we resend to them, and she blind copied me on it, so they don't know that I was copied on it.
Yeah.
Should we have you resend to them to give them a second chance,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
or should I
Oh, no, I can do it,
do it? Okay,
absolutely, I
alright,
can do
why
it.
don't we have do
Yeah.
that, just in case it
Yeah.
got lost in
Yeah.
their inbox, or they were away, or who knows what, right?
Yeah,
And we had questions I had questions at least for two of the candidates,
right,
that I wanted clarification on to see if they would be considered, in my opinion. You know, having to do with like where they live and remote work versus in this office work and all of that, so we did have questions, and I feel we need those answers before we would even invite them for an interview.
correct, and then we do have one of the four that's interested, has
Yes,
been in touch with me.
and that's actually a good candidate too,
One of
so,
them,
one of the good candidates.
Okay,
So that's the update on that, thanks for bringing that up,
I almost forgot about it,
yeah.
So maybe before, middle of November, we may have a decision made.
and I'd like to get some training in with Donna just for the
That would be
CIP and
very
all that
helpful,
stuff.
yeah.
Lean, did the fence company do the work down to Woody's yet?
I haven't seen a quote or anything from the fence company, is there a quote?
They did send one through, cause I had a copy of it.
I was not included in that.
Let me, I'll get it over, I think I was gonna do that the last meeting. Fence company quote,
And how about the concrete, you said that,
we approved the 2,500 or whatever that was.
I thought it was 2,200, or,
But I didn't know if the fence company had taken the fence down so they could do theirs.
I haven't heard.
I'll check that too, Walt and Demo. We already talked about those buildings.
Do we wanna file
We're
a
gonna call
claim with
both
that?
painters.
Do we,
I think we do.
and then I should, if we can get pictures of
Yep.
what's there right now.
I think the damage had been removed, the gates are gone. They might be laying out there bent, but they're taken off.
Okay,
But yeah, I think some pictures and we can file that claim notification like you guys had talked
yep,
about.
yep,
I think we were all in agreement with that. Let me put a note down here, claim. What'd you call them claims? It was a,
Is it incident report?
incident
Incident, yeah.
report, there you go.
No, but we're actually gonna get some, based upon how much dollars, we may get some reimbursement for that.
Yeah. Sorry, if we wanna change it from an incident to a,
Excellent.
Or claim?
Claim, I think it's more of a claim we're submitting.
yeah, well, I don't know what that gate part, and that last one is fairly expensive.
I wanna say it was 4,400
Yeah, something on
And
that,
the deductible is $1,000?
Yep.
That's $3,000 covered.
plus, the concrete,
concrete on top of
if
it,
we
yeah,
could stick that in with it.
Should be, so it's same damage.
part of the same claim,
Yeah, I think the concrete was, just a lifetime crack.
Oh,
It
Okay.
wasn't part of the damage.
it wasn't,
No, I don't think so.
okay,
But we're doing it all around the same time, so.
yeah.
Alright, that being said, I don't think I have anything further, but we do have a non-public. So I'm gonna do the non-public notice and then we'll give Leo 2 minutes to clean up. So I'd like to make a motion to go to non-public per RSA 91-A